Go for it whenever you want.
Welcome to Mixed Signals, the podcast.
Where we talk about design, visual cultures, and trending topics.
Yeah, that's good.
Is it mixed signals or mixed signal?
When someone thinks of a sphere building, probably the first thing people are thinking about is that. Like just general people. Thank you for knowing how to read a diagram.
Joey is really salty today.
He is. He's on
SPK aura every day, man. Here, I just want to be a Betamaxer. Just call me Betamaxer 2000. Like that's what I want to be.
Let's stick with MXD. Hey guys, what's up? How's everyone doing?
I'm
Terrific.
good.
Swell. Professors. Something happened to me the other day.
Cool. Tell me about it.
A friend came to me the other day and they wanted to show me inspiration for a facade that they're working on in studio. And they pull it up on their computer and they say the name, and without knowing it, it is literally our studio professor's project.
Sweet.
And I was like, girl, that's literally our professor's project. She didn't believe me. I pulled it up. She looks and she's like, oh, it literally is. And I'm like, yeah. So my question to you is, what if they, like a student, unknowingly came to you and was like, this is the inspiration that I'm taking and it's your work? What do you do? What do you say?
Oh, you guys could start, but I have many thoughts about this.
Well, I was going to say, I've had this happen not with my professional work, but I've had students bring me an Instagram account that was of a previous student's work from our studio, and I was like, "Did you read the description? My name's in it." Like, anyway. But who's your professor again? Remind us.
Damn, and it was the sleeve house.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always the damn sleeve house.
All right.
Yeah, which I mean, it's an amazing and beautiful project, so I don't really blame her.
Right.
But you know, when you
How did they not notice that was their professor's work? Interesting.
I guess the website that it was listed as, like, it didn't list the name of the architect on it, just the studio. And the studio is not, like, his Instagram has a different name than the studio name. And so it's not immediately easy to bridge the gap.
You might argue that then, I mean, in a way, they're really drinking the Kool-Aid. They're into it. They're looking for the right things.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yeah, maybe.
Did you tell Professor Dam this?
He doesn't know yet. This happened yesterday.
Well, so I have a few thoughts. One is like it's expected that the studio is pushing an agenda that every student is working around the agenda of the professor's practice. I think a lot of times you see that. And that's great, especially at the higher level studios, at the graduate level, because you're getting really high output that you can kind of mingle back into put back into your practice. And then a lot of times you use those good studio students into your practice as interns and eventually maybe as people that work at your office. That's how that works. It's like the mentorship. You might make a claim historically that it's like Mies van der Rohe kind of did this in Chicago, or like the Bauhaus in general. You learned under the same exact ideas and philosophies as them to end up like them. That's like why you went to school as a mentor. I think there's like a bad rep here where it's just like, no, you're copying too much. It's like they kind of want you to do that. Like if my student tried to mimic my student work from the years before, I'd be happy because like that's what I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to get you to do something. I'm different than other people, so I get that it doesn't work for everyone. It's just interesting that kind of occurred. And so
the funny part of that though is that they were doing facade like precedents, so it's not even like they were looking for some really specific ingredient to Professor Dam's methodology. It's more like, here's a facade, what do you think of this for our project? And it's literally that is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I guess
actually.
Like maybe you guys can give me your opinions on this, but like if a student showed me my work or my student's work and they didn't know, I'd be upset because I'm like, isn't your job to look up, like when you get into someone's studio, to understand how they think? I think most students, especially in the early like stages, I would assume that they're not, but they should. Just like, eventually get to like your option studios. I think every architecture school has like an option vertical studio, and you want to look those people up before you take them, right? Like you want to know, how do they think? What's their previous student work like? What's their professional practice look like? And then that should be one of the reasons why you take them. Sure, their personality is another thing, but I think that every student, my biased opinion, is you should look into your professor's work to understand how they think, because they have an agenda for you most of the time. It's not like, oh, show me how great you are. That's the thing that ticks me off. Show me how amazing you are. This is a fucking talent show. It's not. I don't give a fuck how good you are. I'm glad that you're good, but I don't give a shit. Like, I'm here to teach you something, as we talked about in the last episode. It's like geography, right? I'm teaching you about Latin American history here, or geography. Don't give me shit from North America, shit I don't give a shit about. Just give me the thing I'm talking about. And that would help if you just knew what the professor's work is like. So
Do you think that that's accessible to students though? Like, do you think, for instance,
Yes. Answer is
it's
yes.
well documented? I don't know. I think it could be hard for students to put the
Really?
dots
They
together.
can look up on Instagram. They can go to any social media.
Yeah, I think
Like,
the
come
thing
on.
in this case specifically, it's on his Instagram. You know, like if you scroll on the Instagram, it's and that's how I showed her. I was like, open up Instagram. Let's go take a look.
So
and yeah,
do you follow Adam Dam?
yeah, I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't expect people necessarily to follow their professors, but like maybe look at it. Like you could do that. And if you don't, that's on you, man. Like the internet is open for everybody. One of my biggest critiques is students don't learn how to do shit on their own anymore. And maybe I'm just like, oh, the good old times. I actually don't care to go to the good old times. I'm just making an observation. People don't look shit up. People don't learn how to do new things. And it's this kind of discussion that I've had with many peers of mine that students just, and there's reasons for it. I'm not going to say like they suck. It's not I understand there's just an overload of information. It's like, where do you even fucking go? I get that. I totally understand it. But it goes back to the point, like they didn't even do their research.
They are training their algorithm in a way, and like Instagram is pushing them towards, hey, by the way,
I was
just
gonna say
from
that.
this network of information, you might look at this. So the funny thing is that the algorithm is the safety net here, and it's like, hey, you should probably look at this. Seems like you're in this sphere right now.
But I do also think, like, to your point about like people not researching. I mean, a lot of it does have to do with the algorithm. You know, if the computer's already telling you what you want to know, then why would you go find it yourself? You know, so to some degree, there is a level of that.
I mean, we've talked about it before. I want to like do a little workshop that trains people, like at least like create a separate account on your Instagram and train that account to give you results that would be productive for your design education. Because like when I try to find references, it's in front of my face. It's already there because I've already tuned one of my accounts to just give me stuff that I want, or I think things that are productive. And I know how to behave in a way where I don't click the things that gets me out of that path. It keeps the algorithm like pushing the things that I want to see. And so I understand students have their social account as their primary, social media, Instagram or whatever. You probably should just create a separate account. That's my thought. And that will be your design account for, like, it's like your Pinterest board or whatever the hell people do.
Totally.
From your perspective, doing this research on your professor when you get into the studio, why do you think people do that at all, or why not?
I do. I think that it is beneficial to do that. I cannot speak for why other people would not do that. Like, to me, it just seems like, okay, like if I'm going to be spending, 5 credit hours, and most of my time working on a project that this person's going to be critiquing, I want to know what's going on in their head. So, but to some degree, that's like, if that's not people's first instinct, then it's not, but that's where my mind goes. When you think about like students and they're coming to lectures, their objective is just to, okay, I'm just going to take in the information. It's not necessarily, it should be like what you're describing. I don't think it is right now.
No,
I actually agree with this take. I kind of think that you're going to get some of the class, the alleys of the class that are going to look up the instructor. They're going to want to know all the 360 information. And you're going to get some students that don't do that. And I think this is a really normal ecosystem within a studio, is like some students have no idea what's going on. And they show up and they just bounce around the studio and they encounter things in the studio. I've said this before. I think that's actually kind of okay to some degree. And there will be, hopefully for that student, some studio that they connect with and are like, actually, like, I really like what this person is saying. It resonates with me. Let me look them up and see what they're about. So in the core, specifically like the first 2 years of your education, I think it's kind of okay for you to be oblivious. I don't actually think my students have any idea about the professional work that I've done or even the research I'm interested in. I used to think that, but now I really don't expect it. Now, I will say, like, I do think fifth years are a little different. Like, I think FP students, you'll get a handful of them that will really specifically ask about your work. But again, I think it's a different moment in their education.
And students are students. I mean, you're like an adult for the first time. You have your social life. I get that. Like, I'm not expecting, like, I don't expect it.
That's
but
our warning bell.
That's our warning. Moving on.
Let's look at some sphere buildings. I wanted to show you guys something.
The architecture of spheres.
Did you guys see the MVRDV competition winning? It's a grand ballroom, but the cool thing
This
about
is new?
it,
I have not
it's
seen
new.
this.
It like they just won this competition. The thing I really thought that was cool about it is like the skin of the sphere is actually residential, but the interior of the sphere is a like featured. I guess it's a performance venue.
That's
right?
cool.
In
Like, this thing
Albania.
captured
I
my
haven't
heart.
heard. What is
It's
that?
in Tirania, which, by the way, there's a famous pyramid in Tirania. And anyway, I think there's this interesting like resurrection of like primitive geometry as very like epic, formal.
Is Albania considered the Balkans?
No, that's no, it's Albania. Wait, is it?
Albania is near like
Croatia?
Croatia.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of like from
Greece.
the Balkans to the stands, a lot of like big time architects have found their work being won or built over there for some strange reason. So there's something to say about that.
That's interesting.
That kind of looks like the Balkans.
Well, a lot of these European firms are looking for work outside of Asia now, just because of the shift.
That's what
in
I'm saying.
market.
This region specifically, from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean, seems to be like a zone that a lot of people. Actually, you can go all the way to the east of the Black Sea, to Georgia, and
Armenia,
even to the stands. A lot of that region right there seems to be kind of like a hotbed for a lot of contemporary architecture competitions and stuff. I know Bjarke Ingels and a lot of other people have kind of built there in the past 10 years. So that's interesting. Also, I haven't heard anything from MVRDV for a long time.
Me neither. And that's why I wanted to bring this up too, is that I really like this specific project as a like just a like an urban piece. Like I'm very interested in like the scale of the thing, how it's kind of like behaving like a city at a certain scale. It's wrapping a building around something else in a way. But there's this huge history to spheres in architecture that I thought it might be fun to explore with you guys. Like we all know about the sphere, right? The MSG sphere, which is now what Maggie's showing.
All right, so
Vegas.
Real quick, hit it or quit it. What do we think about the building?
The ballroom?
Oh, so
MVRDV
Maggie's like, no, just MVRDV one. Maggie doesn't like it. Nihar likes it.
I love
I'd hit
MVRDV.
it.
They're my
Really
like
hit it.
dream firm.
I kind of like it. I think
I like
it's
it. I'm into it.
Can we look at it one more time?
It's a little stark.
huge.
It's a little stark for me
Yeah.
on the facade, but I really like the idea of the project.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's
Wally,
concept
I
heavy,
would have
it's ugly.
expected you to have loved this
thought you'd be
project. When
into
I
it.
saw this, I actually thought they were building like a scale model of the Death Star.
I like
Yeah.
totally.
the section of it's really cool.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
I've never
this-
seen anything like
I
this.
like this section. I'll say that. I mean, this leads us to the next parts of like the historical project of the sphere. Many of them don't get built. I mean, there's a series of projects that have got built. I think was it Eniad's building in New York. It's like the some sort of like museum or science center.
Oh, you're
That
talking
was-
about the Hayden one?
I don't know.
Planetarium building?
Yeah, the planetarium
Yeah,
building.
Hayden Planetarium.
That one was
Sick. I should have
one
put
of
that
the
on here.
famous projects.
I'll add it.
Of the sphere, because like a lot of times spheres don't get built. I mean, usually they get built in goofy ways, like Buckminster Fuller's kind of geodesic dome, and I guess there's some other like greenhouses, but
Well, the sphere that everyone was
that's
like,
the one, right?
Yeah, that's the Hayden Planetarium.
Actually, we're in a building with a huge sphere in it
Yeah,
too. I
that's
just forgot
true.
the impact
That's true.
building.
It's more oval though.
Get
Like,
the fuck out of here!
Hey,
It's
hey,
a sphere.
It technically is an oblate spheroid.
hey, look at that.
Just
It's
so
an
you know.
egg.
But I think the hard thing with the sphere, but that MVRDV is doing cool, is it's hard to get your own like identity or signature into it. The way they carved it up, I think, works.
Also, the fact that there's apartments in that thickened skin is really
I like
It's
that.
really
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, but then it's like
I'd
this-
want to live in this building.
It's very large. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
massive
huge.
building, and like, do you want to really live in a theater? Like, I don't want to live in a theater. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you live in Barbican Center, you basically live in a theater.
I don't
It's
want to
just-
live there either.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't, but I've heard from people that live there that.
But this
love
is
it.
like just congestion and stuff. I mean, for me, I usually just take the approach from the aesthetic. I think there's just a generic facade. I kind of like it. You know what it reminds me of? And this actually I wanted to talk about with the sphere conversation. It reminds me of like, you know when you pick materials in like V-Ray or 3ds Max, how it wraps everything in
I
a
love that.
sphere?
I
That's
love
what
that.
that looked like. It just looked like a building texture map.
On
and
a
it just
sphere.
kind of, yeah.
Oh, that's
so
so
it's like
cool.
a very postmodernist approach of, I'm sure that's what they saw. Like they are, yeah, like just like that, one of those sphere materials. But if you look up like a building one, can you look at one with like brick or
like
something?
say facade.
Or windows?
Yeah, the brick.
Yeah, there's sometimes they have windows on them, and they're really funny because that's exactly what
Yeah.
that looks like.
I didn't think of that, and I really like that reading.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the MSG sphere really quick, because the thing I like about that is that literally the building is an image. Like if you look at some of those photos,
Are we talking about the Las Vegas sphere?
Yeah. If you look at some of the photos, like I put one on the board, Maggie, if you could show the sunrise one.
Oh yeah, it's so cute.
Dude, that's a photo I saw from some local Las Vegas account, and it looks like the freaking sun is, in the city, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really interesting project. I know people will say it's hacky in a lot of ways,
No, I think it's great.
but hey, shout out to friend of the pod, Ramon Pena, who worked on this when it was still in New York. I just want to point out the original MSG sphere was proposed to be on a pier in the Hudson River, and directly adjacent to that, I'm showing the city, the captive globe. And I think that would have been Rim's dream, that Manhattan finally gets its giant sphere. If you guys have read Delirious New York and you know anything about Rem, he's kind of obsessed with the sphere as a character in architecture.
Well,
And-
to be like Christiana, it's
Yeah.
not actually a sphere; it's an egg that he's obsessed with.
No, in this building, I do see the buildings we're looking at. I do see them as
No.
spheres.
I'm saying
Bro
Rem
needs-
is obsessed with the egg, not necessarily the sphere. But the
Oh.
sphere and the egg are one of the same.
Bro needs protein, he needs some eggs. There's a sphere project that he did that's down below that one that I've never seen. Well, I don't want to see if you've
Which
seen
one?
it. It's called De Bowl.
I mean,
think that means the ball.
I can see it coming up in
Have
conversation.
you seen this?
I've never seen that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's like it has to be so sparingly done. We can't have like a city of spheres. That would be awful.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
they're so expensive and difficult. I think it's kind of cool that we're finally starting to see some of these projects become like if you look at the OMA sphere in the Taiwan Performance Center, it looks kind of like crap. Let's be honest. It
The way
doesn't-
it got built, you mean?
Yeah, it just doesn't look.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
no.
hard to build a sphere.
It's very hard.
That's really
I mean, there's a
bad.
reason why.
It's kinda
Look,
bad.
I think the
You
sphere
don't
is
like this building?
No, I do. I just the sphere looks like paper mache or something.
It
It's like-
does.
yeah.
I don't like this
I
building.
think it's just like it's hard to build a sphere. It's hard to kind of maintain it.
Totally.
Like, how do you detail it? I think theoretically, the sphere has been this project. Who's it, Boulay or who's? Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Kim Boulay.
Where
The cenotaph.
There's another
yeah,
one.
where that's kind of been a theoretical kind of project, and you don't see much of it built. And to go back to the sphere in Las Vegas real quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but it costs, I think, around $675,000 per ad if you want to put like something on it, something like absurd like that, like over
crazy.
$500,000 to $1 million to get anything advertised on it. But everyone sees it, and it's done so well.
Yeah.
In terms of like being integrated with the city, like that sun thing, like the emojis are great. I've seen many of them. Was it 450,000 to 650,000, right? For a week-long campaign.
That's crazy.
That is very expensive, but that building is seen as a billboard from the outside and a performance center on the inside. And I'm sure you guys have seen the interior of it, but it is amazing. It is a really cool
It's a
performance
masterpiece,
building.
really.
And I think there's a few things I want to cover about it, but like I think immediately after it was done, they were trying to build one in like Dubai, of course.
They're going to. The MSG wants to build these in every global city.
Yeah, which like in a way, I guess that's fine. Do we repeat it over and over again? I'm sure it'll be integrated differently in each context. Because one of the things I wanted to talk about is there's an image, if we can look at it. This was taken by Gallo's account, and this is amazing because the sphere is in the background and it's pixelated. So look what's happening to the edges of
Yeah.
the bridge. And this is like, I know this is a picture of it, but I'm sure when you're there, you kind of probably get the pixelization as well. But it somehow inverses
Yeah.
the digitalization where the background is not seen as a digital, but it's really the objects themselves. I thought that's super cool.
is cool.
Like the effects of that kind of looks like a video game, like a pixelated video game screenshot. And that was done by the sphere because you're super close. You never see it super close. You just see it super far away. Look how massive that thing is. That looks
Yeah.
like a sky.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy. So depending on which city it's built in, I'm sure it's going to have its own character in terms of what gets projected on it, but also like the way it blends in with the town. Also. In terms of like the other, like what do we got in terms of the history of the sphere building? Like we got the Death Star, we got the cenotaph.
The Montreal
What-
Biosphere.
I wanna-
is
I wanna
in there.
get your-
That's really cool.
What is it?
The Montreal Biosphere.
Which one is it? Oh,
That's
yeah.
Bucky's building.
I've seen that recently. I didn't really like it. I know it got burnt down, but I wasn't a huge fan. It just doesn't contain itself very well.
I haven't been in it or up close, but I do like driving by and seeing it in the like context or environment. I think it works at
As a
that
skyline,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting because the way it appears in photos to me is that it looks like it's a photoshopped fake image. Like,
Yeah.
every time I see it, I'm like, is that real?
It just falls flat when like in real life. I just didn't like it.
Oh, Maggie,
Did you go
can
into it?
Can you Google for me Manhattan Sphere, Buckminster Fuller? I can't believe I forgot to put this one
Oh
on
yeah,
the
this
board.
one's dope. This is like another one of those theoretical projects. I
Right.
mean, it's great that Buckminster Fuller was able to kind of get this built in a city.
Have you guys seen this?
What the hell?
So this was his proposal. Now, by the
You
way,
guys need to read more, by the way. If this is a what the hell moment.
this seems insane, but the brilliance of his proposal was basically like, hey, if you build a giant dome over Midtown Manhattan, you can basically incentivize people to build there with no building envelope, right? You can make Midtown Manhattan essentially a tropical environment where we don't need thermal control. Think about that.
I like the expressions of the URBs.
Yeah, they're not
There's a
into it.
lot of
They are not into
skepticism.
it.
Wait, didn't New York already get classified as a tropical climate?
Very recently, yeah.
I just mean, guess what I'm saying is you can keep the rain and the snow off your head.
But also, what happens when like Joe crashes his giant drone into part of it? We've got cracks all over.
I don't know if you know this. There was no drones in the times of.
I do know
How
that.
was Wally getting
But-
back to campus?
Joe's drone service, obviously.
I don't know, whatever they were doing back in 19 whatever.
I don't know. At least to me, like, yeah, like that is my biggest question of then, like, what happens with the border between them? Like, I think that everything that goes on inside is great, everything that goes on
Yeah.
outside is great, but when the two connect,
I love that you
don't
brought
think
that up,
it's
Allie,
good.
because no one ever talks about that. If we zoom in, there has to be some stupid garage door at every street intersection with the
Yeah.
dome.
Right.
yeah, but then I also like, at least to me, it like feels like it would be like a border, you know, and you'd have like a little border patrol around this like dome
Totally.
structure.
All right.
Do
It
you
would
belong
be-
in the dome?
All right, we got to
Maggie also does make a fair point that it does start to create a sort of social hierarchy
Yeah.
with that.
Oh, totally.
especially in the context
Oh,
of
and
Manhattan.
the
yeah.
structure of Manhattan doesn't do that.
Yeah, the rats are gonna take over.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I
Now you're building a wall.
yeah,
at
that's
the
what I
very
saw.
least, like before you're at
America
least
inland.
breathing the same air.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you know, the property there is going to be more expensive than outside the sphere.
Yeah.
Or- that's not
for
really
a while.
sphere.
For a while, until it becomes dilapidated and the air all smells bad because they can't figure out how to filter it, and then no one's going to want to
That'll
live in
take
it.
about like 2 days for that to
Waleed
happen.
is really salty
He
today.
is. He's on.
SPK Aura every day, man. What's your favorite sphere project?
Who's starting?
It doesn't
Christiana, go
built
for
or
it.
unbuilt.
I don't care. Like, yeah, it can be theoretical. Most of them are theoretical.
Oh,
So what's your favorite
man,
sphere
I
project?
don't know. I mean, I do show students the cenotaph at times.
hmm So is that your favorite?
I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
okay, you
that's
know what?
my
We'll skip
favorite.
you. I want you to think. Just
Okay.
charge real quick. Charge. Think about it.
My favorite is the sphere animals that Christiana needs to see next.
What's the sphere animals?
Click on the sphere animals to the right. Maggie, over here. Click on this for me, would you?
Oh my God! Yeah, this kind
This
of
is-
reminds me of the materials
this is
as
for
well.
Christiana.
Oh,
I think
they're
I
so
have
cute.
seen
Oh,
this.
damn it! I was trying to surprise you.
Wait, let's see them. I haven't
This
seen them.
is
The
so
next one. Go to
strange.
the next one. This is one of my.
Oh,
Come
he's
on.
so
wow.
It's a
cute.
cute cat sphere.
He doesn't have any legs.
I don't like the dog, dude. That guy's so
Hamster
cute.
sphere.
That's
is
like
awesome.
Hamtaro. If you guys ever seen the anime.
Red fox.
Yeah. Oh, that's creepy. Can you
Dolphin
imagine?
is.
How does that
I kind
swim?
of love that.
How does that swim, dude?
He just floats.
Why is it upright?
Oh.
Oh, the
that's
cow's great.
I
Come
love
on.
that they're just floating.
Yeah,
like that.
it's awesome.
Oh, that looks like
Anyway,
my dog.
I love that the comment on this is your best post yet.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
But no, I love. I love the Newton cenotaph. Who doesn't like the Newton cenotaph?
I'm gonna be honest. For me, it's King Kai's Planet.
Go
like,
for it. Show it.
Dragon Ball Z classic. It's just if you know
It's down
it was there, but you can look it up. Yeah, right there. You zoom in. That's King Kai's
I
Planet.
love it.
If anyone's ever watched Dragon Ball Z, the planet is just a sphere. And my favorite part is the road where he drives sometimes and he just takes a stroll across his planet. And that's my favorite. And then right next to it is like a game that it seems like it's mimicking some of the King Kai Planet ideas. But in this case, the game is actually really cool. And what I wanted to relate to is like, obviously, there's the Death Star as kind of one of the most famous spherical projects out there. It is a building. It's a weapon. It's the size of a planet. And that like when someone thinks of a sphere building, probably the first thing people are thinking about is that. Like just general people, general public. They're not thinking of the cenotaph. And then I was just trying to think of like what are some like other media that tries to relate with the sphere, the idea of kind of rolling. Obviously, I thought of King Kai's Planet, and then there was the that video game that relates to, which is Katamari.
I love this.
And this is just like you're just rolling,
Yeah.
like this kind of like this gravitational pull device this character has.
Is
I've never
that
played
you?
it, but I want to play it.
Is that you? You're the rolling object?
Yeah, you play as a and you try and collect things, and it's like this. You eventually get a very, very large sphere. But yeah, people love this game, and especially in Japan, this is like very, very popular, and it's super cool. I mean, it's pretty old, but they've made many versions of it. But you're just collecting stuff to make a sphere. So you're taking things that aren't spherical, and because you have like a center and kind of an orbit around it, you just kind of start making a larger and larger sphere.
Is
It's
this
like
a commentary on recycling? Should we have giant spheres that gather our recycling in the
you're
city?
like Bucky Fuller at this point, like just mega theoretical projects, but eventually can get really, really big and just it is super cool and it's fun because like this is also another thing I think of in terms of spheres.
Did Rick and Morty rip off the Tiny Planet thing? By the way, the thing that you were just showing.
I don't know. Let me see it.
Have you seen the Rick and Morty Tiny Planet episode?
I haven't. I've seen the Australian
they're
episode.
they're fleeing the galactic police basically, and they find a tiny planet, and they're really pissed off because they can't get away from each other.
Oh.
And Morty keeps trying to like hide, and he just goes to the other side. Of
It
the
could
planet.
be, yeah. But I just love that idea that you could just drive around your planet 15 times.
They just hit it.
Oh my god, that's really tiny.
Anyway,
That's funny. All right, so we got Nihar. Any favorite sphere projects?
favorite sphere, go.
Oh, his favorite sphere. I mean, I do really like the Performing Arts Center in Taipei, but the Cenotaph is always a good fallback. But I'm gonna say because Christiana said she doesn't like it, I'm gonna go with the Taipei Performing Arts Center because
Nice.
I think it's really cool.
Wait, which one did I say I didn't like?
The OMA.
The one with the giant
oh,
circle sticking out the side of it.
Yeah.
Ellie, do you have
okay.
an opinion? You have a mic, so what do you think?
I really like the Las Vegas Sphere. I don't want to see it built anywhere else. It's so Vegas, you know. It really, because at least to me, when I think of Vegas, I think of all the festivals that happen there, you know, and it really serves as a monument for that.
You know, it'd be really great.
yeah.
They would generate a lot of money if they just made it a slot machine that you can get on cue to to pull it, and then if you get a jackpot and
It
it's
goes
on there,
on the
dude, that'd be
sphere.
insane.
That would be insane.
I think that's a
Someone
$1
needs
billion
to do that.
idea.
Yeah.
Because we are addicted to gambling in America. So
A casino should do that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Although once you win, then what? The 650,000 is going to go to the fact that you were posted
well, I mean,
on.
they would make way more money than $650,000. Like, can you
Oh.
imagine how many people are addicted to gambling, especially if you think about interesting ways of integrating sports gambling. Look, I'm not advocating for it. I actually don't like the gambling problem we have in the world. It's not just an American problem, but
Yeah,
I'm
who
shocked
here
they haven't
gambles?
done it. Huh?
Who here gambles?
Yeah.
Maggie, before we move on, what's your favorite sphere? I know you're not on mic, but can you point to it?
You're burning on the spot, man.
Oh, can I change?
the
I was going to say
yeah.
Epcot Center.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about Epcot.
God, that's so creepy. Have you guys been inside of it?
I love
It's
it.
so
Never been there.
creepy.
Oh, I
You
love
been?
the inside
It's like just
of
like all
it.
these mannequins kind of like doing this,
Yeah.
like shaky waves.
It's so cool.
Yeah, of course you would, because it's so boomer, dude. It's like just the American dream. I don't know if they've
I
updated
think
it when
I've
I went as
only
a
been
kid.
one
Do you know
time.
that this was the Las Vegas sphere of its day? Like people were probably, have you seen the sphere? It's crazy.
Yeah.
They have mannequins that wave at you.
Have you ever
inside.
seen any sphere houses? I've seen some spherical, like Bucky type style houses.
There was a trend in upstate New York of building octagonal houses, which
Yeah.
is really cool. Have
Oh,
you
yeah.
seen those? There was like a Enlightenment era
Are
trend.
they like geodesic domes?
No, they're just like 2D spheres.
Oh, 2D spheres. Let's take a break. So I was online and I saw this, which is this is the definition. This is like a perfect grid that describes what generation you are. Okay, and so it goes from alpha to boomer. Anyone that's a Gen was X, you're also boomer in this category because they never no one ever cares about them. It seems for some strange reason. But so Christiana, let's get your first reaction on this.
I get it. I mean,
We understand you get it. That's the point. You should get it. What's your reaction to it? Thank you for knowing how to read a diagram.
oh my God.
Ouch! Jesus.
What's my reaction to? What else?
Where do you fall?
Which one do you,
Where do you
fall,
fall?
on that table?
What's your bingo square?
Like, what's the first number combination you recognize on that table?
Well, I know my generation is the 6'9".
no,
Really?
Yeah, right?
Really?
that's not our generation, buddy.
Really?
We're not yet
We're
there.
7-Eleven?
We're no. Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
no.
Okay, actually, take a pause. Take a pause. please.
Okay, maybe I don't
that's
get it.
not a-
Nihar or Ali, I want to see where do you guys fall?
We're the 6'9" generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, easily.
Yeah.
I thought so. I can't not see the 9/11 square first.
Yeah, we're 9/11.
We're traumatized by 9/11.
Yeah, like
Oh.
No?
our world is shaped by
You don't
post
think so?
9/11. Now, their generation,
I
they
can see
they
that.
grew up in a post 9/11 era, which is very different than we grew up in, like the Clinton era of like prosperity, good deeds. They've never even saw
The
that.
neoliberal.
And so we were kind of coded with like things went south. They've always grown up and seen
Everything's
south, so they
horrible.
went to 6'9" right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so we're the 9/11 era. Like if we're gonna kind of what has influenced us and
Okay,
what sticks
what's
in our memory.
influenced us. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a generation below you, and do you think 7-Eleven is theirs? Do you think 9/11?
What? So
is
what
theirs?
generation is the 7-Eleven? I don't get that.
I would just assume it's boomers.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Everyone above millennial is 7-Eleven.
They were probably the generation that thought like, but this store is open 24/7 hours a day. They're super into it.
Yeah.
7-Eleven was like an invention to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like their
okay.
Amazon.
Affect
Can
them.
we explain? Like, I have seen 6, 7, and
6,
whatever.
7. I'm convinced alphas want everyone to fucking hate them. Like they just do the stupidest shit just to piss you off. Like their whole like lingo just
This doesn't piss me off
Like,
though, at all. Like I don't.
like
I
me and my
just think
brothers
it's
kind of
silly.
joke. Like you know how they like did the whole alpha, sigma, whatever the fuck ever terminology. I just like I just want to be a Betamaxing all day. Like that's what they fear. I just want to be a Betamaxer. Just call me Betamaxer 2000. Like that's what I want to be because I just want to piss them off because they just man their obsession with the manosphere. That's like it's so weird. Like actually, it
See,
hurts
this
me
is
to hear
where
them
I
talk.
start to wonder where Waleed actually falls in the generation line because I have no idea what a Betamaxer is.
You don't?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually you want to be like a Rizmaxer, and I just took that word and like beta is seen as that's their terminology. That's what I'm saying. It's insane. And so they want a Rizmax, and the opposite of that is being a boring beta person. So I'm a beta maxer because I just want to be boring. Opposite of them. I don't want whatever they're taking.
You're not obsessed with becoming an alpha.
Absolutely not. Or a Sigma, as they say.
Yeah.
Sigma's the real
Yeah, the
standard
top
you
shot.
should hold yourself
Got
to.
it.
top shelf. Can you look up a Giga Chad? Because that's exactly
Who
what it
is
looks
a
like.
Well, no,
Sigma?
a
What is
Giga
that?
Chad is the alpha. You know, the Sigma is the one who like doesn't even care what people think. You know, the alpha is like always
Wait, is
gets
it a
people's
Giga Chad?
attention.
Okay,
and
so
the
you're more
Sigma's-
tapped in.
We're a professional architectural podcast, and we're talking about Giga Chad. I cannot get it.
The slang.
Oh, okay. Mewing. What I think that is like a weird look people give each
Yeah.
other. Is that right?
Well,
It's
it's,
just,
to
like, enhance
help
it.
your jawline. Yeah, you mew
It's
to
like
help your
you're
jawline.
really
It's like,
tapped in.
I think you should like stick your tongue at the top of your mouth, and it takes
Yeah.
out like the bottom part of
Okay.
your right
Oh.
below
Next
your chin
term,
that like
next
hangs
term.
down. It just pulls it
Cap.
up, so it makes your jawline pop a
do,
bit more.
do you know what cap means?
Something with truth or not truth.
Yeah. Good job.
No.
Okay.
cap.
Okay. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Any other terms? No. Moving on.
Moving on.
What else we got?
Let's look at the video game collab on the. Or you can
Oh,
go there too. If you
I
want.
dropped that. Yeah.
We can go to
Let's talk about the invisible car real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
What is this?
Yeah. I just came across this the other day. I mean, I'm a Honda driver. You know, Honda, Honda all the way.
All right.
But I thought you guys might find this interesting. Have you seen this before? They made.
I've seen things like
Yours
this.
isn't transparent though; it's just missing
I
panels.
know, but I think this is. It's not missing panels. It was missing a starter and a battery a few weeks ago. But they made it. You'll see in the caption. It says like they made the clear car to show off their
That's pretty cool.
engineering, so it's like a real flex. I think that's really cool. I'm actually surprised that other companies like Porsche or whatever haven't done
Yeah, but
the
that's
same.
That's true. I actually am surprised that more supercars don't.
I
do
feel like
this.
I've seen this before though
Huh.
on other stuff. Like obviously this is not a car you can buy at a store. They're like a
It's just a
car dealership.
demonstration.
Yeah, it's just a
thing.
demonstration. I think these do exist. I feel like I've seen them before. I've certainly seen illustrations like this before. So maybe I'm mistaken on that.
I do like reading it like a drawing, though. Looks like a cutaway from some angles,
Yeah.
but the glare also means that you can't see everything.
Mhm.
Looks like one of your like pen like like
Just
summer
showing all the
advanced workshop
mechanical
projects.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because usually these objects, all that stuff is on the inside. You never look at it. It's not part of the aesthetic of an object.
Also, like you couldn't do this with most cars because the OEM parts are just ugly and plastic. You know what I mean? Like the builder grade sort of pieces of cars, but they've obviously curated a nice selection there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show you guys this video game collaboration that Gentle Monster made to announce their Fall 25 series.
So it's tied in with The Hunt. Is there other advertisements here that's going on with The Room, which is the game? And The Hunt is, I don't know if it's like a movie or just a campaign, but it seems like they have like a famous actress on it. And this ties in with the theme of like how you're supposed to feel towards a product. And the product is just placement, right? We talked about it with architecture before. Like they're not making their product the main character. They're kind of putting it on the sideline, and like through just enjoying the entertainment and feeling connected with this culture, it kind of gets you to be a fan of this work, and then essentially you want to buy the product that you think is cool because it's trendy, or you just kind of like it, so you want to support it. And it is an interesting strategy. We've talked about Prada doing this before, where they've hired like famous directors to produce little short films, and it has nothing to do with Prada. There might be Prada placements or wearing Prada clothes, but at the end of the day, you've gotten an awesome like Wes Anderson film from it, and some other directors have made kind of films from it. And it's a strategy that works. And so what was nice about this is you have the film and the game that's kind of correlated with the same theme. Essentially, this is like the film and the game at the same time, which I thought was really cool.
I really like that.
It is really nice. I mean, it's also like themed around Halloween or horror, and there's like a whole genre of horror. And so your product, like again, there's everything besides the glasses you see first, right? The glasses is the most minor thing of this, and Gentle Monster being primarily a glasses company, I thought is awesome because like you might say, like, look at all the cool clothes, look at the theme of this place. It's suburbia. It's like the genre traits that comes with the horror film. It's all there. And usually you never see probably glasses. That's like the last thing you care about. But it is cool. Like it is attached to the media product.
Like it used to be when we were kids that product placement in films became like a big thing, like a way to like get your product out there. And I just think it's interesting that in some ways this is even more immersive and world building. It's less like, hey, I'm going to ride the coattails of this blockbuster movie, but I'm going to create a world around the product that advances a visual culture, right? So I think that's why this is so interesting to me. But I also really love the like 8-bit graphics of the game. It has a really fun, nostalgic feel to it.
I wanted to talk about this game because I actually liked it because the main character is what now? Like the main character is probably you. Yeah. You don't really see yourself. I mean, maybe you kind of pop up in the corner every once in a while.
You see your reflection.
You see your reflection. You have things like the glasses, which I think is like one of the characters. It's not really a character, it's just one of the elements. Obviously, you have the person that's like you're running away from that's killing you. But another thing is architecture. It's all about being in a domestic home and then all the objects within that home. And like the scene that we're seeing over and over again is just like going up the stairs, a very architectural moment. It's got an aesthetic to it, like beyond just the 8-bit graphics, which I don't think is 8-bit. There's more than that. But
the
like
lo-fi.
Yeah, the lo-fi. Yeah. There's like an attitude towards an aesthetic and agenda of domesticity that we see in here, which ties in with the horror aesthetic, which I think that's great. Like to generate a world around multiple products, aesthetics, I think it's a very sophisticated thing. And I played it for a little bit. I did like it. I mean, I'm not a big horror game person, although I do love Resident Evil. There is something to say about, and I've been trying to create posts about the architecture of horror and whatever that means, like from haunted houses to like video game maps in Resident Evil. I don't know how many people here played Resident Evil, but that really defined my video game generation. And there's something like when you study the maps of Resident Evil, you can understand where the kind of scare moments come into play. Where in that game, you don't really see it. You click on stuff and out of nowhere, you get a scare tactic. But when you use space as a tactic to scare people, that's interesting. Like, how do you get to a narrowing moment? And then when you widen up, like, where does like a back door coming from? Like, what does the section look like? All these are part of it. And obviously the textures, the reflections, the light, all that is embedded in there as well, beyond just the geometry of the space. So I think that's cool.
Christiana, what do you think about the horror aspect? Because I know that's something you think and write about.
Yeah, but I'm opposed to like thrill horror. I want horror to get more.
Say more about that.
I'm looking at it more as the aesthetics of, and using the aesthetics of, not as like a like ruin porn or horror porn or something like that, but actually to like take a moment to pause and think about a difficult situation. But I think horror in popular media is all about this escapism, the theatrics, the kind of like jump factor or adrenaline rush, and I don't connect with that at all.
So if you were to make,
can I ask a question about that though? Because I actually really wanted to hear you talk about this because
I mean it disturbs me.
yeah, absolutely. But what I wanted to ask you is like I totally see your point about the levity of what horror does, but there's a reason that we do that, obviously, and there's a reason that it's such a popular market is because I think in some ways you're confronting your fears. But I just want to ask you about like, if you're using the imagery or the aesthetics of horror to like highlight something, that's what I'm reading. What you're saying, which I think makes tons of sense, and I actually really like the way that you think about it, and even in the student projects I've seen where you kind of push that kind of conversation. But my question is if it is problematic, aren't we neutralizing the feeling and the utility of that emotion if we say that that in some way that this is maybe not preferable, but you want to use that feeling in a different way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
that genre hadn't been built out in the way that it has, we wouldn't
Mm.
have that aesthetic to reach to, if you know what I mean.
True,
If there
true.
wasn't something at stake, you wouldn't feel horror.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
I mean, in my interest is not to then like replicate this everywhere. I think it's like a time and a place to introduce like horror, darker themes in order to confront, I don't know, a social reality or some kind of catastrophic event that has happened. But yeah, it's a different angle.
So how would you use horror though visually? Like, if I was asking you to make a video game that dealt with horror in the way that you talk about it, what would that look like visually?
Oh, I don't know. I would need to think about that, Willie.
I mean,
but like,
I mean, the other day you posted a bunch of images about cemetery core. Does that relate to the horror you talk about? Or is that something totally separate?
Oh, that for Barry?
Yeah.
Why did I post that? I need to like recall.
I think that relates to horror. Like, there's no way that we're not going to talk about cemetery and horror.
Where we came out with that was like with Barry, that conversation about this almost sublime sensation of understanding your mortality, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what you tap into with your work in some ways. But I understand why you would be opposed to the sensationalism of creating, a spectacle around it in the way that we're seeing here. But am I getting that right? Is it about like mortality and our fragile state? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. But yeah, in this like the room game that you've posted, I don't know. Like I think I just think about it too realistically. Like that's awful. You're running away from someone that's killing you, and you're going to kill them. Like I don't like that at all.
That's not your.
I mean,
not your
we
game.
have GTA up, and I think this goes to would you play Grand Theft Auto or not? It seems like you would not
There's
play
no
Grand
way
Theft Auto.
she's playing Grand Theft
I mean,
Auto.
but come
I
on.
mean, but could I drive around and enjoy the scenery? Like that's what I do in
Yeah,
random video games. Is I don't. This is what I do in D&D. Also, I don't get into combat. I just like
That's
to
the
explore
game.
the world.
Jesus Christ, dude. I mean,
No,
look.
I like to
You're-
discover things and explore the world.
I-
I'm like a Mist person. Do you remember Mist?
Oh, I loved Mist.
Yeah.
I
You like
loved-
atmospheres. You're into atmospheres.
yeah,
I get it. I get
yeah.
it.
I
Yeah,
don't,
but like, okay, look at this. So this is like I don't know if this is a mod. This is like just GTA Online or something.
No, this is GTA Online, which
Yeah.
is a different universe.
Oh my
very
god! But
different
this
from
is great
playing
because
the game.
if you wanted to go driving around, you're gonna have some random psycho person come up to you and just start shooting you up,
Yeah.
and that's just a consequence of living life, you know. And if you don't want to simulate a very extreme version of life, Christian, I don't know what to tell you. It seems like you're not tapped in, and you want to go to paradise, which maybe I suggest that you just
no,
don't
I
play
think
online.
it's because I know life is fucked up as like, and I don't need to be reminded that through
Okay, something funny I
theatrics.
have to tell you really quick. My wife and I played through GTA 5 during COVID because we were locked in a small apartment in Harlem and had nothing else to do. And my wife would only want to drive around LA and see stuff. And
Yeah.
then when part of the mission comes and we have to fight, she just hand me the controller.
Ah.
We played the entire game like this.
I love
She just
that.
enjoyed seeing the city and like going, "Hey, there's that drug addict guy that you're supposed to find," and then just hands me the controller.
That's exactly how I would play it.
That is such a
Like, that's
funny,
fair.
different way.
You
But
could do
I
that.
get it. I understand it.
Like I just want to enjoy the graphics of the game. I don't need to meet some like low res character. That
I do want to
fight.
talk about Grand Theft Auto, and maybe there's a day we talk about Fortnite. Nihar, you said
Sorry,
you haven't
Wally's
played much of
upset.
it, right? Because your mom didn't allow you. But have you have played it or no?
Fortnite?
No, not Fortnite. Grand Theft Auto.
I have not.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of it, but
Okay, so actually that's interesting. Allie, I want to ask you, and we'll get back to that. Have you played it?
Yeah, I've played a good amount.
Okay,
Yeah?
I could see.
All right.
I could see.
I can
tapping
kinda
too.
see that
So
too.
like,
COVID.
I think one of the things that people talk about in terms of GTA is, and I'm not a person specifically that I've experienced it directly, but I know people that have, where they play GTA 5, which is based in like a version of LA. Then they go to LA for the first time, and they are so tapped in, and
Yeah,
they know
yeah.
exactly where they are. They
Right.
know exactly where to go, and they've never been there before, which I think that's kind of cool, where you can kind of create this mimicry.
Yeah.
We talk about digital twins a lot in the architectural engineering world, but it already exists in a way.
Right.
Obviously, it's there's different goals for obviously what a digital twin means in the professional architecture engineering business versus that, which is a product for the masses. I do think it has a lot of influence in the way we think.
I think you're getting to the point of why you would do a media campaign like this. Like, in a way, if I go get those glasses, like, it's me seeing a celebrity that I've been in the world building. I've experienced the world that they built around it. I totally get it.
And-
I think it's a really brilliant
And the
strategy.
connection is, how come architects don't do that more with their work? Like, if there was a building that
Totally.
you're in, like Casa de Musica by Ome, if there was like a horror game or like a thriller game or a game like that set in a video game, you get people more tapped
Totally.
into what it is versus just kind of a generic building, because that's how people know the like the famous New York buildings like the Empire State Building and stuff. It's through movies, through music, through film.
So if you're Barry Work, why don't you just have your website as being these playable,
Yeah.
environments?
I mean,
He's halfway there. They
Yeah, he's
rotate
halfway there. Yeah,
and
I mean, I've been working on like a video game as a form of like experiencing architecture. Obviously, it's not the same thing as putting it in a mod. Like one of the things I try to do, actually, one of my students did last year, is make a building and put it into Fortnite, because you can create levels and stuff. And I'm glad he did that. Like, it's one of the things I've been wanting to do, and he just did it on his own. I thought that was fantastic. But I've also been like creating images and turning them into Fortnite moments, like just like my students' renderings, and just having AI make them into Fortnite moments. I'll just post them in the next probably week or two. But they are really cool, because then people experience architecture in the way that they probably spend most of their time. And I want to get back to your Twitch experience. I'm assuming it's Twitch or YouTube that you watch video games. I think there's a shift where people, instead of playing games, they watch people play games. And I think that's how I've consumed games for the most part, because I just don't feel like I have time or the energy to put into it. But I'll watch like 20, 30 minutes.
That's how I
an
got
hour.
hooked on Rocket League, by the way.
Yeah.
I
and-
started just watching people play. And
Exactly.
then I was like, I want to play.
And there's something to say about, well, there's a lot of space making and space thinking, like the way you think about Fortnite, creating your fortification, hiding behind buildings, getting flanked. It's a very spatial experience. I mean, these are the terminologies that someone might use, like playing with the game or playing with their teammates, trying to avoid someone killing them. You have to think about what's behind you, who's covering, all these things, what's breakable, what's not breakable. There are these. I think just like we talked about in movies, people in the future will understand space differently based off the media that they've consumed, right?
Totally.
And I think that we don't talk about that enough in like in architecture school, because we're so obsessed with maybe the image. And I'm a person that doesn't care about space as much as maybe you do, Caleb, in terms of the section. But I do understand the value of it. And I think looking at, like, watching a movie is different than playing a game. And certainly I think watching movies is different than watching a streamer play a game, because you're getting more of that kind of connection of the first person or third person kind of experience, very differently than the kind of the movie narrative, which is about setting up a scene.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Star Wars, Star Trek, a lot of those media franchises deal with the hallway, which I talk about a lot, and I think that's influenced my architecture, where there's like this vector space. That's profound in understanding space and understanding the aesthetic and how it gets contained into a space. So there's something to say about that. I'd like to kind of expand on that.
So when are we
eventually.
going to launch MXD Game Nights? Come on, man. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Would you play video games, guys?
If CD1 wasn't a thing, then yes.
What if we take actually, when we were in grad school at Penn, there would be Fridays that would just be happy hours. Because, everyone in grad school is over 21. So they would just have like free beer, free drinks, some snacks. And every Friday at like 6 p.m., I think, just everyone shut down studio and everyone would just go and socialize. And
It's actually the best.
Yeah, and it just allowed you to decompress. You need that decompression. So maybe there's something when we set up where you're not drinking, but like you could just
take
decompress.
over the gallery, get 2 games going on.
Yeah, and sometimes we would have like
that would be awesome.
in the gallery we had like badminton. People would like set up badminton, or like I think maybe there was nights where they play video games. I don't really remember, but it is important to kind of decompress. And what's better than to get into a virtual world
Hell yeah.
of space making?
Maybe what we need to do is try to find a way to gamify the way that we think about architecture and spatial thinking, because the point is that we definitely, like, most architects do not look at games like this and think like, oh, this would be a great thing for my students to learn about space. But why not?
I mean, to misread Barry's idea of playtime, like you can literally just play,
You can
or
play,
watch people play. Like that's another thing. That's fine. Like you kind of need shit like that sometimes to rewind, because like you can learn about, like, I want, like, I would love a student to tell me like, hey, this is the way I think about something because like this game or that movie. I would love that. And because I want your perspective to come in, and I'm going to try to mold that to the framework I'm trying to push onto you. So it kind of like merges together. But if you have nothing and you're just expecting everything from me, then it gets kind of frustrating, especially at like the more advanced levels, because you're like, well, I don't want you to just show me how great you are, but I also don't want you to just not give me any input. If someone is a true like Minecraft fiend, I would love that to start making its way into architecture in my studio, as long as I can kind of like fit it into the framework. I think that makes for a better project. So, and I was obsessed with, like, Maggie had the Fortnite video just going like in a straight path. That was great. I just really enjoy that, Maggie. You're curating a lot of videos for me to enjoy because it's calming me down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
So here's my idea. Now, we were saying we should do a game night. I think, and you've probably seen this, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. The base idea that I had was obviously Waleed versus students Minecraft.
Oh my God.
But specifically, what I was thinking about is when I was seeing Maggie looking at things is we do Waleed manhunt in Minecraft.
Oh my God, that'd be
sounds
great.
fun. That sounds really fun.
I would like a Fortnite one more than that. I'm really bad at games, but man, Minecraft, and I'm rusty, but I could do it. I would do it.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
And I think like everyone knows what Walimoto is.
Let's go.
So
Where's Waleed?
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, I was telling people about the podcast, and I introduced all your full names, and someone goes, "Wait, that's how you pronounce Waleed's last name? I thought it was Saywal." And I was like,
It's well.
"Exactly."
You don't like to pronounce it.
And I'm like, "Oh well, if I said Walimoto, would you know what that is?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, of course, I gotta know what a Walimoto is." And I was like, "Oh, okay then."
We should do Minecraft build battle.
Oh, that's
Like-
cool.
Yeah,
Minecraft
we can do
build
Minecraft
that.
Mondays, buddies.
And have you played that on
Love it.
Hypixel?
Oh god.
Okay, well it exists, but it would be good because then people wouldn't have to be in the green building for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's the thing that I was thinking about. Like, you don't need to be in
this
this
space,
fucking
yeah.
building. Like, I told you how we did it, and it made sense for why we did it, because we ended class on Fridays. We had studios on Fridays, so that's kind of, we ended on the weekend, and it allowed us to decompress. You might have to find your own method. So, like, if anyone's listening out there at a different school, you have to find your own method that allows you to decompress, because decompression is important. Obviously, you got to worry about your mental health, but at the same time, it's like, you don't need to always learn through books. You don't always need to learn through
Totally.
the academic sense. And that's what the whole MXD point is. It's just like,
Use your architecture brain to do other shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, I would say like video games is more of a formalized form of media in comparison to like stuff you see on social media, or even that like horror video game, which is like light bits of gaming, but it's not like a full production. That's fine too, man. Like, that's great, And you have to find your own way to kind of decompress and socialize and construct like an idea of space as a group. I think that's also important. Like, playing Minecraft by yourself it's very sad. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I need students to help me understand the love of Minecraft, because it is a very lonely place. It is very lonely.
That's what makes it so like beautiful.
It
though.
is kinda-
You know,
I
it's
don't
like-
understand why people are so critical of like just me time. Like I for me like through COVID and all of that, like I don't have like really close friends at home. So when I'm at home, I'm surrounded by family, but I'm also just by myself at most of the time. And I enjoy that. I enjoy my me time. And maybe it's just because like I'm constantly surrounded by people 24/7. But if it's playing Minecraft for like 8 hours straight without interacting with a single soul, to then have my mom come and be like, "Are you going to eat food?"
Yeah.
Like, I, by all means,
that's
fine
right.
with that.
By the way, that's how I grew up. That's absolutely okay. I think the lovely thing is, though, when you get a little bit older, is being able to then share that with somebody, because you don't have that anymore. Like, I don't ever have that, by the way. My biggest indulgence nowadays is playing Stardew Valley for 10 minutes before I fall asleep on my Switch. But my point is like that gaming time kind of goes away. So I like the idea that you find a way to socialize it as you get a little bit older.
I mean, for me, my me time is just being on YouTube a lot, and I don't like talking to people a lot since COVID. Like, I like to just be by myself.
What?
No, meaning like if I leave my job, right, I'm not talking to people most of the time. Like, Caleb lives right below me, and I don't never fucking talk to him. So I don't like seek out people to go hang out with. Not that I don't enjoy it. It's just like I got accustomed. Like, post COVID,
sure.
I think things have changed where you learn to be independent. I think like corporate offices were like, you could never work at home. That would never work. That would never fucking work. And then COVID happened. It was forced. And guess what? It works.
It works fine.
And so
Yeah.
that kind of proved the lie that they were just like, no, you need to be in the office, which that never even made sense to me, because like your biggest overhead expense is the office. So wouldn't you want to reduce it? Anyway, my point is the effects of COVID, at least for me and what I've noticed with my friends, is we've become a lot more independent from like wanting to hang out all the time. We used to hang out very often in New York City, in COVID, we didn't do that. It's like one of my biggest pushes to leave New York City was just like, well, I don't do anything
there's not
here.
social
I think a lot of us started using like Slack and Discord more during that time.
and recording videos and instructionals.
Or
and-
Miro,
Yeah.
recording.
And I think I still
That's
use that
great.
stuff to this
Me
day.
too.
And
Me
so
too.
that made our workflow better. And I don't know if the students' experience, if they agree with it or not, but at least from my perspective, it's way better than just sending out emails. The Miro thing is great. That's when I started.
You literally used to think, and you guys are gonna think this is weird, but it used to be like, oh, I didn't say that to him in studio today. Guess I'll just say it next week. We just lost a week. It's crazy. Of course, I can reach out to them and show them another way to do things. So it's just interesting. The way
Yes, I know Wally does respond to his students at like 2 a.m.
Oh yeah. 4 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever, if I'm awake, I see I'm responding.
Yeah.
And for me, it's great because like students always want to show me something perfect. I'm sorry, Maggie, you're about to get my rant. And the thing is,
Maggie
like
just
what
fell.
I
Go to
want
bed.
is I want a screenshot.
Maggie has left the chat.
Send me the screenshot and I just want to sketch over it on my phone and then I'll just send it back. Like that's what I want. That would be like the perfect recipe for us. I know students they're not used to that and they're like, like they're used to maybe there are other professors that don't do that. And so when they get to me, it gets like really awkward where I'm like, I'm expecting something, they're expecting something else and just miscommunication. So
But also, I mean, like the work-life balance stuff that resulted from like constantly, you always have your phone on you. You've got Slack on your phone. You've got Outlook on your phone. You're always getting notifications.
right.
I mean, at least to me, that's a pretty big problem. Like
It
I
is.
can't have my Outlook notifications
agree.
on. I don't
Yeah.
want to know.
I agree with you, and I get student messages all hours. So it's literally we are giving up, like you're giving up your free time.
But from the student's perspective, also, there is like an off time. Like I can understand them. Like there's personal boundaries that we've crossed beyond the class time. And you could say the same thing with an office. Like once you clock out the 9 to 5, I don't want to hear shit from my manager. I don't want to hear anything from my coworkers. I'm off, right? I get paid to do that. So if I'm not getting paid to respond to your chat, I don't want to do it. In terms of learning, I understand it's different. Like I try to look at it as like I'm a resource outside of the 9 to 5 or whatever the time zone, like the time that you're kind of in work mode. And that should be an opportunity rather than like you're expected. I try not to be like, make that change now at 2 a.m. I try to be like, just try to make comments. Now it could be misunderstood that I'm asking for that. And we have to be cautious of like, if we're responding after hours, don't put pressure on students to feel like they have to do it immediately.
Totally.
Because that starts crossing the boundary, which I think is super unhealthy. And we have to train ourselves how to think in this kind of like immediate access environment that we live in, because it is a huge problem. Like you should be able to turn off your phone and not have any repercussions of it. It's just like when rendering became much easier, your clients asked for like 20 more renderings. Just because you can make something quicker doesn't mean you should produce more. It's like the whole thing with the AI is going to make your life easier and the AI will just do everything. No, the AI will do the stuff and then they're still going to expect more out of you because like you said before, they just want to kind of like monopolize your time. They want to like max out everything for profit. And now we've kind of gone down the tangent of like capitalism is bad, and it's not. It's just people like to take advantage of things, and we have to be wary of like how technology aids that.
Well,
Oh yeah,
Why don't you
could I
respond-
say
yeah,
one
respond,
last
Kristen.
thing? Because I think teaching changed a lot for me also during COVID. In some ways, it was like Miro. I think made things easier. I could do the markup. It was there. It didn't get like lost. Other people could see the same markups, and I could say, "Hey, go look at
Totally.
Sue's post and what I wrote there, and you do the same thing." But I have realized with Slack, and I've used Slack since before COVID. I just noticed that my students liked not being on email. And so I've been using that for studio for like 8 years or whatever. But recently, I feel like there's not, like, I will put things on Slack and no one reads it. No one looks at it. I say, I put a tutorial on there. And I even put, watch the tutorial, do the steps in it by Monday, and just no one does it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's as you're mentioning, like, it's just too much. You're getting too many updates all over the place.
yeah, I'm guilty of that. I do that all the time. Maggie can kind of, and I know it's a problem. I just don't know how to deal with it.
Like you put a lot of...
Yeah, I just keep posting. Like things get lost. I've been trying to pin stuff, but I mean, yeah, I have this problem where it's just like I have the ability to talk to my students, so I'm just going to talk to them on the weekend. Again, it's just like saying, hey, this is something. Look at this. Look at that. But it is an overload, and you feel responsible of looking at it.
Well, like I do, I try to put things that I think are helpful, but yes, I
Me
think
too,
it's
but-
an overload.
Yeah, it's an
for them.
overload. Like I understand it. I get it, and I want to improve on it, but it is a consequence of just like we can send them a chat whenever, And then like the pressures that they feel like, oh God, if I see a message from my professor in the week, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I think that like notifications are the curse. Like that is the problem. Is that
Yeah.
your phone will ping. It will make a noise in your physical world to remind you that there's work going on.
Yeah, but the issue is
know?
if people
Yeah.
turn that off, then they're gonna miss the important stuff. So then you're like, well, I'm gonna get the shit that's not super important. But if I turn it off, then I'm gonna miss the
No,
important
I think
stuff.
that
So
honestly, the trade-off is in the direction of turning your notifications off. Like I've done that where I do not get. Like my phone is on Do Not Disturb all the time. When I want to know what's going on, I will go look. And that has been the most beneficial to my mental health because otherwise it's interrupting my free time, which is dramatically the more
Yeah.
important thing.
I do that, and my curiosity too is I've started doing that, like notifications, and that started for me like 2 years ago.
2 years, yeah.
So I'm wondering where it started for other people too, or when it started. for
mine
other
recently
people,
have
too.
been turned off, and actually I like it because now I have to go hunt for the Discord stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't see it immediately, so I don't respond immediately, which I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I think it's better
I
for
think
me
it's
anyway.
fine. Yeah.
Anything's that immediate, you know, like in the reality of like where we're at, like nothing is that important that you can be out on a Friday night having a good time and work should interrupt it. Like that's not.
There's no emergency in architecture that is that.
Yeah,
urgent.
our buildings are going to take forever to build anyways.
A building is burning down. What are you gonna do?
Okay, we got to move on. This is a very long episode. I'm going to have to cut down a lot. So, all right, everybody, that's our show. Christiana, get by us.
All right, I'm gonna go King Kai around the world.
Love it. See y'all. Bye.
Bye.
平和が一番